Hi and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another podcast video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at Binance Exchange, Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and try to answer the question that one of our community asked in the last members AMA. And if you wish to become a member, check out the link in the description of this video for Patreon. We do 2 weekly AMAs where you can ask Nick and myself anything, and we have technical analysts on the team that will do TA on request and so much more. So go check that out. You can also jump in the Discord. It's absolutely free to join. The Discord link is in the description of the video. Right, let's get down to the desktop. So before we get started, mash up that like button. I always forget to say it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Just so you kept up to date, tap that bell, selecting all the notifications. Now, this is what's prompted the conversation. Coinbase to delist Binance USD stablecoin amid regulatory scrutiny, and maybe it's doing a bit of a full circle and potentially a part of the reason why we're in this position. But what I would say is that, it's an interesting scenario to be in. What are Coinbase delisting exactly? And it's basically the pairs with BUSD. So what does this mean? If you go to purchase a cryptocurrency with your BUSD, you're not going to be able to do that on Coinbase anymore. You'd have to have USDT or USDC, for example, and change that into the cryptocurrency. And it's the pairs, basically. So it's something that we expected to see. And, it's pretty standard. We're expecting the BUSD is going to, reduce in market cap. What this doesn't mean is it's going to depeg or anything like what we saw with UST, in the whole Luna scenario. It's very, very different to that. It's not an algorithmic stable coin. So I want to be really clear on that. There's a lot of FUD going around about depegging and stuff like that, but it is redeemable one for one through Paxos. So, look, eventually it's going to become harder and harder, in my opinion, to redeem it, in the respect that you might have to go down a route that isn't a normal route unless Binance keep that open until all redemptions are made. And over time that will happen unless Paxos are obviously allowed to continue minting. That could be something that we see in the future as well. But in the meantime, my stance on it is that, again, just good risk management. Do you need to hold BUSD? You could put it into USDC. You could put it into another stable coin like USDT. But again, do you even need to hold stable coins? There's all these sorts of questions that you need to ask yourself. I can't make that decision for you. I'm in some stable coins, but I'm also in fiat as well, a mixture. And, I have really good risk management, in my opinion. Risk management is so important. It's what's helped Nick and myself navigate this space immensely throughout this bear cycle, right? Nick and myself haven't been caught out with FTX. We haven't been caught out with BlockFi and Voyager and, all these scenarios that have, impacted the market negatively. Got caught out a little bit with Celsius, but that was the only sort of time that we've lost a little bit of money. And again, I have covered the fact that I didn't lose all my portfolio because of my good risk management. So really important that we highlight this and talk about it. But this is what's prompted the question: what happens if Binance goes under? What happens to Binance Smart Chain? And should people move from Binance Smart Chain to other ecosystems like Ethereum and so forth? Now, I want to be really, really clear, and this is just my opinion, obviously not financial advice. Treat this as educational purchases, information only. Go away, do your own research, and make your own decisions. But my opinion, and that is all it is on this, is that they're very different. BUSD and Binance Smart Chain are two completely different things, and they're unrelated to one another, in the respect that if BUSD disappears over time, Binance Smart Chain is going to be fine. Now, it's a different story if you're asking me if Binance goes under, what happens to Binance Smart Chain. So I want to get into this side of things and just give people my opinion. At the moment, I don't think that this is a huge risk. There does seem, on the other hand, to be a big agenda against Binance out of the US, but this seems to be just a US situation, not necessarily other countries around the world. So on this question, right, let's have a look here, right? So Binance Smart Chain uses Tendermint BFT consensus mechanism, while BSC uses a delegated proof of stake authority. And this is important because the former allows Binance Exchange to control the BC blockchain 100% without the involvement of the community. So there's your answer to start off with, right? And the one thing that people probably need to note when it comes to Binance Smart Chain, it is a centralized blockchain. It's not like a decentralized blockchain like many others, and decentralized comes in many different forms. So you can have different forms of these decentralization as well. So it's not a straightforward answer that when somebody asks, is it decentralized? Not always a straightforward answer, because there's an element here that the community is involved as well. But overall, it looks like Binance actually controls it 100% without the involvement of the community. The latter opens up the network to allow other validators, to participate in governance and block validation. However, Binance still controls Binance Smart Chain blockchain through their role as vetting block validators. This is really important to understand, and what it is trying to articulate to everybody here is that ultimately Binance called the shots. Now, if Binance was to go under, I guess they're going to have to give up that, or somebody's going to have to take control of that. And look, it opens a lot of questions, and maybe 𝗖𝗎 will perhaps answer some of these questions, because they probably need to be answered really just for the benefit of everybody involved in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. So look, for me, I'm kind of on the fence. I don't think Binance are going to go under to start off with. I don't think there's an immediate risk here, but there is an element of risk, right? And it's all about how much risk tolerance you are willing to hold, and whether you wish to hold it. So look, it's an interesting thing. I personally think that there would be some sort of change and somebody would take over it. If it went bankrupt and went under, then I would imagine that the fact that Binance controls the actual blockchain, the people dealing with the bankruptcy would then take over and manage the blockchain. So I think the risk is really minimal, is my thoughts and opinions. But let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Now, here's a really good example. My phone keeps falling over. I don't know why it keeps falling over, but it does. Binance hard fork BNB Smart Chain amid heated debate around decentralization. So, people are already talking about perhaps doing a hard fork. This was around the hack that happened. And basically what sparked this was the fact that Binance was able to turn off the blockchain when the hack was happening, I'm led to believe. And, they were able to basically stop the hack. At least that's how I kind of see it. So they didn't lose too much money or more money. So look, this is something that's really, really interesting. While BSC swift action generally was applauded, it was able to shut down the network so quickly because of the centralized system of 44 validators, which 26 were active and able to quickly coordinate the action. So look, this really, really interesting stuff. We've got here just an example of how decentralized the ecosystem is from one aspect of things. You've got your TVL with $4.91 billion. And we need to highlight these things, because people will FUD on Binance and join the bandwagon of everything that's going on. But I think we need to applaud the fact that it's sizable, right? And the thing that I would also add is you've got the likes of Uniswap wanting to integrate with Binance as well. as many others also trying to, be part of the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. So with all of that said, I think Binance Smart Chain has got a lot going for it. I think it's going to be perfectly fine and will continue to do really well. I think Binance have been heavily under attack for many years, particularly from the US, and I think this will continue for a very long time. And it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. But at the moment, I kind of feel like Binance are going to be okay. I really kind of feel like Binance Smart Chain is not at risk. And if it was at risk, I think that, I would be well and truly running away from it. But that's not, what's happening. I still use Binance Smart Chain. I still use Binance, although I'm not holding any crypto on any exchange apart from BitGet at the moment. So that's kind of my position on it. It's all about, what risk tolerance you're willing to have and whether you need it. And I guess that means you've got to ask yourself the question, do you want to hold your crypto on exchanges? If so, what risk tolerance do you have? Are you willing to risk it all? Are you only willing to risk a percentage of your portfolio? The other thing to ask yourself is Binance Smart Chain. Do you think that it's at risk? If it is and you feel that it is, then, do you need to hold that risk? Do you need to be on Binance Smart Chain? These are all questions that only you can answer. And for that reason, I'm out. If you enjoy this sort of content and you found this useful, let me know in the comments below and let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that I've covered in today's video. And maybe you can educate me a little bit more on Binance Smart Chain. Really interested to read through the comments. If you enjoyed the video, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.